Hello, KT45. This is my reply to your atheist movement video. Now, I have not been able to deduce whether you are an atheist or not from your video, so I'm just going to assume that you're not an atheist and just correct me and readjust everything if my assumption is wrong. You raised many interesting questions which I want to get to. The first is about the concept of atheism. Is atheism too general of a term? Well, in one sense, yes it is. I mean, the only thing that unites atheists is the lack of belief in God. What is God? Well, the most basic, widest possible definition is an intelligent entity which created this universe. But then again, the term does its job, basically. What more could you ask of a term? Christianity is another extremely wide term. When someone says I'm a Christian, in this day and age, that means surprisingly little. The Eastern Orthodoxy and Southern Baptism are completely two different universes when it comes to basic beliefs, basic practices. The only common thing they have is belief in the divinity of a man named Jesus Christ. So in one sense, atheism is a very wide term, but in the other sense, the term perfectly does its job. Simple idea. Now, I would like to talk to you about the most specific case of atheism, which is the one most commonly seen, and the fact that atheism has basically become a term to refer to a combination of scientific naturalism, somewhere also called metaphysical naturalism in the ontological side, and secular humanism on the ethical side. So sort of these two different things are clumped into one, which logically doesn't have to be, but it's a nice complete package. For religions are usually both statements about how the world is and statements about how one should behave, whereas there is really no logical connection between these two. I mean, demons in Christian mythology do believe in God, they only refuse to follow him. So scientific naturalism basically means that one believes that the world is real, that one can find to a good degree, not perfect degree, but a reliable enough degree, the properties of this world, and that anything that does not leave consequence in this world does not deserve the attribute of existence. And of course, radical skepticism, both radical skepticism and relativism are discarded. So there are truths about this world. It's not just everything is the same. So what I was basically saying is that you can have Frodo in the neighboring universe plunging the ring into Mount Doom this very moment, but if that event is not touching anything in this universe, it doesn't deserve an attribute of existence. And scientific naturalism has become known by its most prominent conclusion, atheism, that there is no God, that there is no reliable evidence of a intelligence acting in this universe. The closest we've ever come to any intelligence outside of the human sphere has been in the case of neutron stars, where for the first couple of months people thought, hey, these regular pulses might actually be a signal from another planet, but they soon figured out that that wasn't the case. Another prominent conclusion for all we know, after we die, we're gone. Because all of our thoughts and everything are physical processes in the mind. And when that is gone, well, so are we. On the ethical side, more or less everyone, even those who claim they are in essence secular humanists, which is basic concern about the welfare of all of humanity. Now, most, even me, am pretty reluctant to actually identify with the term in its vulgar form, so I call myself a moderate humanist, for the simple reason that it implies unconditional optimism in the human condition and blank approval of everything human beings do, not to mention not giving other things apart from humans, such as the natural world, its due weight. So these two things clumped together have become known as atheism in the more narrow sense of the word. So to get to the Raelians and Scientologists and Buddhists and all of these, which are actually de facto religions even though they don't believe in God, they are in the more wide sense atheists, but in the more narrow sense that is often referred to, they're not true atheists. I mean, atheism is not the first word to have a loose and a less loose level of definition. So in that sense, I don't feel any kinship as far as beliefs are concerned with people like with Raelians, for example. As far as the movements are concerned, I think that those are all pretty irrelevant issues, because atheism is a statement of what you believe, not what you choose to do with that belief, or which strategy you think would be the most optimal strategy in say converting the other side. The species of atheists that believe that atheism should not spread and that it should only be the prerogative of a few select individuals, that species died a very painful death on September 11th. So I consider myself individualistic. I see no need to go to a church of atheism, which defeats the, Darwin is not meant to be worshipped, he's meant to be read, although the mural is pretty cool. Or to donate to atheist charities. I think atheists should not donate to atheist charities, they should donate to charities. The act of helping someone should be completely decoupled with pushing beliefs on them, in my opinion, or the other goals. So in general, even though I'm quite an individualistic atheist, I have nothing against atheists who want to band up with each other, and I imagine atheists who want to band up with each other don't really have anything against atheists who want to stick to the side. So the issue of dividing atheists based on that is largely moot. I mean irrelevant. Okay, so that's it. Hope this answers your questions.